In this video, we are going to go over an extremely low time frame, actually a 1 minute time frame setup for both symbol SPY and triple Qs. And with that in mind, we're just going to start off with it right on over here, showing you the equity curve for this strategy. It's a very unique one in the sense that the win rate is actually below 50%. But because of the way that this one does handle risk management, it does produce a net profit, actually a very nice net profit over time. Of course, these numbers are simulated with with an account size or a trade size of 500,000 on average. So understand that, while the numbers might not be the same, from account to account, the percentages are going to be more or less the real focus here, as that is what scales. Anyways, this one has been backtested all the way to the beginning of 2020, January 1st of 2020. Actually couldn't go back further than that on TradingView Deep Backtester. So without further ado, we'll go over it. Starting off with the SPY setup right here. And it's an extremely simple strategy, actually. What we're going to be using is the skeleton key external, a part of the Krown quant automation features, to set this one up. And first things first, we want to see that the Krown cross, which is the 21 and 55 exponential moving averages, crossed in the upside direction. That is what then gives the green light for everything else. And the next portion of criteria that we need for an entry is that the Krown VMP, the jewel P portion of this, which would be this in the background right here, needs to be 25 percentile or less, so where this green bar is or less. If we see those two factors consistent, then we can enter, assuming that, if we can scroll all the way down here, that we are not trading on Tuesday or Wednesday. So this one only trades on Monday, Thursday, and Friday for the time zone of GMT +2. If those conditions are met, it's an entry. It's actually literally that simple. It's pretty silly, actually. For risk management, we will have a stop loss by percentage, and it will be spot 2% or spot 20% from the entry. So let's go over an example or a couple of examples right here. We saw a couple trades yesterday, it looks like. One of them was, actually this one was on Monday. And let me actually put on the moving averages here too. First things first, moving averages were across the upside position while that entry did happen. And then, of course, while that was going on, if I put in my green vertical bar, we can see that the VMP percentile was just below 25. Let me double check on that one. Yes, indeed it was. Okay, less than or equal to 25. In this case, it was about 20 right there. As you can see, again, top left-hand corner is the actual nominal value, which was 20.63. So that was our entry right there. And then, again, if it does not hit our stop loss, which is all the way down here at almost 1/4% or 1/5% from that entry, then we just wait for the VMP to hit, the PMARP to hit the take profit. Now, for take profit on this one, we want to see the PMARP signal line, not the plot line, but the signal line here, get above or equal to 80 percentile, which I have on this green bar right here. So that's the white moving average right here. That is what the signal line is. You can see that's while the plot line, got above 80 several times, actually very quickly as well. And perhaps even that's in fact, I did backtest that one as well. It's actually a very viable strategy, but not as much net profit as using the signal line. We can see that the signal line actually gets there a little bit later in that day when price is, significantly higher. So I'll take that one in that case. Let me find a loss as well. I do want to see, okay, we have one right here. Actually very simple. In this case, entered right here. Again, the Krown cross was still to the upside in that instance. Krown VMP was below 25 percentile as well. Well, in this case, our stop loss by percent was hit right here. And it should limit stop loss, get out of the trade, and leave, and take the loss. So again, this one over time, over the past over 4 years, has been pretty damn consistent. Again, with the 37.5% win rate, you will be losing more often in terms of just actual trades. But when it wins, those wins severely outweigh the losses. That's how this one continues to produce a net profit. And we can actually show the same thing on triple Qs as well. Let me just bring it up over here. And where is my triple Qs? Do I even have it on this anymore? I know I have it here somewhere. Yeah, we do. The reason why I have it is because I actually hold it myself in my own traditional markets trading accounts. I actually don't trade it myself, but I just hold it for the long term. So we'll wait for this one to populate, but it's the exact same criteria as what we just looked at on SPY. The numbers will the output will be a little bit different, obviously, being that it is a different asset, but it was interesting to see that this very low term time frame setup was consistent basically from one asset to the next. Now, of course, triple Qs and SPY, I mean, there's probably a strong correlation between the two. Let's see if it's loaded by now. It has not. But again, same thing here. Krown VMP must be 25 percentile or lower. So that would be right here alongside that upside cross, which we see right here. Boom, boom, entry. Then stop loss by percent, boom, right there. And, well, in this case, it did hit the take profit when that white line, the signal line of the PMERP, got above 80 percentile on a closing basis. So again, this is a strategy that you can play by hand if you're trading traditional markets. I just wanted to show that the Krown Quant automation features will work on traditional markets as well. I mean, it works on the service, the script itself will work on any asset on TradingView. The major things is that we want to see long-term history. You know, in many cases, multiple years. As the more history that we do have, the better. And in this case, why didn't it plot the equity curve? Let me see. That is annoying. Sometimes TradingView does that. But again, same thing here. Very low win rate, under 30%, but net profit positive, and that's what we care about the most. So, in this case, maybe I try to repopulate it just one more time. Let's just choose a slightly different day. TradingView sometimes does some weird things. But yeah, you know, if you're trading other markets, you can use this tool to, one, automate backtesting, and then two, automate trade execution as well, assuming that you're a broker or you have a third-party trade executor that connects to your broker of choice. So again, pretty damn simple. In this case, I'll wait for this one to populate. I do want to remind you that if you're watching this before the end of March of the year 2024, this service is on discount, the biggest discount that you'll ever see ever, for 35% off with the coupon code HAPPY6YEAR in all capitals, which you can find a link to in the description below. In that Krown Quant automation features. I would caution, however, using this, again, on assets that have a low amount of history, because you won't be able to backtest that as much, and you will not be able to just blindly apply one strategy. Typically, especially from asset class to asset class, but even from the same asset class to the same asset class. In this case, it's a little bit of a unique relationship between triple Qs and in SPY. And there we go. Now we actually finally got it populated. That's good. Again, not as much net profit on this one, but still, I would say very, at least in my opinion, very acceptable. You can see that this one, you know, it has periods of winning and losing. You know, some of these losing periods are just fucking. I mean, it'd be very difficult to actually sit through that in real time, at least in my opinion. But that's the beauty of having an algo just execute for you, is that you don't actually have to be managing that and stomaching those losses on a trade by trade basis. Instead, you become more like the operator. You know, you're in the background and you analyze the system and make sure that the overall equity uptrend continues. That's what we're most interested in. But yeah, anyways, back onto the point. If you are thinking of then using this on perhaps like an altcoin, for example, typically those don't have much history, especially more than like a few years. So I would be very cognizant of that and suggest that if you are that kind of person, it's probably not a good fit. This is going to be best used on assets with the most history. So traditional markets usually has that in spades. Bitcoin has a pretty good amount of history. Even Ethereum now has a decent amount of history, I'd say, as well. It's coming up on 10 years, so not bad, actually. But other than that, I'll leave you right there. Just kind of a quick and short and sweet one. Just wanted to show that a lot of the time, at least in my experience, the best strategies that I've run are usually on the more simplistic side. Anyways, we'll end things right there. As always, wish you the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully next time.